Hello there, friends and neighbors. I want to show you now how to create certain types of histograms with Excel. Excel is not very good at making histograms in general. It's just not designed for that. You can do them under certain circumstances if you have the Data Analysis Tool Pack installed. It's not available for Mac. If that's the case, you go to Data and Data Analysis. However, for that to work, it assumes you're having raw data. If you don't have raw data, but rather have grouped data, then the histogram would in fact be just a special type of bar graph, because these suddenly become categories. The only thing that differentiates it from a bar graph is that you would have to make certain that you have every increment represented. So here's an example. Okay, suppose that 3 book publishers were interested in the number of fiction paperbacks adult consumers purchase per month. Each publisher conducted a survey. In the survey, adult consumers were asked the number of fiction paperbacks they had purchased, and here are the results. So you've got the number of books, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice that 7 is missing, and frequency. Okay, so what we have here is these are grouped data. If this was a raw data set, I would see 0, 0, 0. I'd see 10 zeros, 12 ones, 16 twos. It would look like this. Since the individual would be purchasers and the variable is number of books, I would have books, and I would have, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zeros, and then I'd have 12 ones, 1, okay, etc. What they've done, what this problem has done for you, and this actually comes up quite a lot in real life, is you've got grouped data. So these are treated essentially as categories. All right, and the first question is to find relative frequencies and then to graph it. I want to talk about the graphing part and then just kind of let you sort out the rest. And I'll do all 3 of these graphs because why not? It's pretty easy once you know how to do it. Quick note, it's easier to copy data, unless you want to enter it by hand, it's easier to copy it from the solution manual than it is from the PDF, from the textbook, because the solution manual has it already formatted as a word processor. So I'm just selecting this. I move my mouse right here and select all the data, Control-C, copy it, come back over to Excel, and Control-V, just paste it just like that. Or if you want it to be simple, which I prefer personally, I go to Paste Special and just paste it as text. And that way it loses all the formatting, which is as I desire, and I can make the width equal by double-clicking in between any column. Okay, so now what we've essentially got is a bar graph, except if I want this to be represented as a histogram, I need to represent all the categories. I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I don't have 7, so I'm going to have to insert a row. You do that by going insert. Actually, I don't know how to do that with the mouse. Oh, you can do it this way. Just select on a row and click insert. So I'm going to say 7, and there are 0 of those. Well, the first question asks us to find relative frequencies, so let's do that. I'm going to go equals sum, this open parenth, and then I select all of these cells, close parenth, and hit enter. That gives me the sum. There are 68 observations in this data set. So for relative frequency, I would say for this one, relative, I'll just call it relative. I say equals, and then I click on that cell, and I say divided by, and then I'm just type in 68 would be the easiest way. Okay, enter. Now I'm going to copy that formula and move to the next cell down and paste it, and paste it, and paste it, and paste it in each one, and it will keep the formula the same. This should be 0, right? And it is. There. So there's your relative frequencies. That's done. You can just copy that, paste it into a Word document, and that's your homework. Next, I need to create that histogram, so-called, but in fact, it would, in Excel, as far as Excel is concerned, it would be a bar graph. So what I'm going to do that is highlight all the frequencies, click on column graph, because that's the one I like. Okay, there it is. Only problem is these axes are not labeled correctly, so I'm going to click on anywhere in the graph, and then I right-click on it, go to Select Data. Horizontal, I'm going to click here on Edit, and then choose the axis label range. It will be 0 to 8. I say, OK. OK then. And I'm done. I've just created my first histogram. I can do the others, might as well. We're here anyway. So that's publisher A. I'll just call this A. Let's call it A, and I've just changed the label. It automatically changes. Okay, let's select B. It's carrying over to another page in my copy. So there, I just selected all that. Copy. I right-clicked on it, and I can click Copy. Okay, come back over to Excel. Paste special text. Okay. I'm going to call this B. Any categories missing? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're missing 6. So I'm going to insert a row. Insert row. Okay, so I'm going to put 6, which has 0 frequency. 5, 6, and I'm missing 8. So insert a row, and that will be 8. Oops, 8 with 0 frequency. Now, if I want these to be comparable, I'm going to have to insert a row here. So I might as well do that. Insert, and I'll make this one 8 at 2, and this one be 9 with 0. Okay. All right, similar process. First, let's create the relative frequencies. I've got to compute the sum first. Equals sum, open parenth. I select all of these observations. Close the parenth, hit enter. There are 119. So I'm going to say equals, and then I move over to this cell. Slash means divided by 119. Enter. Copy that, paste it in all the cells, and we are good to go. That's relative. Okay. But what I really want to do now is make my histogram. I'm going to select all these cells, insert column, 2D columns, and that's almost it. I just want to put in labels. Right-click on it. If you're using a Mac, that probably means you touch it with 2 fingers. I'm actually not really familiar with what to do with a Mac, but select data, edit, and choose those 9 labels and say OK, and OK. So now I've got my 2 histograms, and if you go look at the answer key, oops, that's the book. Go look at the answer key, you'll see that this is publisher A and it's publisher B, and that's pretty much, that's it. Yep, that's the right answer. It's the same. Now they're using different software, frankly better software that's designed for this purpose, but it's the same graph. Do we have to do it for C also? I think so, yeah, yes we do, because of the intervals. So we want to play with intervals a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. Where's the graph for C from the results? I guess it's not in there. That's okay, we don't need it. We just need the data. Let's do this a third time, and we'll call it quits. I'm selecting all those data, right-click, copy. Where's copy? There it is. Come back over to Excel, go to another convenient location. Oh, here's fine. Paste special, text, OK. Here are my raw data. It's created them as months, which I hate about Excel. It always thinks it's smarter than you. But I want that to be 0/1 and that to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. So it's got all the right categories. Here's how you get around the automatic date function. I'm going to open with a quote, a single quote, 0-1. Quote, was it 1-2? Or 2-3. Quote, 2-3. Quote, 3-4. Quote, 5. Oops, I said 3-4. Quote, 4-5. Quote, 6-7. So 6 to 7. Quote, 7 to 8. And then, does it go 8 to 9? Yes. Quote, 8 to 9. What's missing? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I see the problem. This is supposed to be 8 to 9. Okay, so 20, 35, 12. It would have been easier to do it by hand, but here, I've got it all now, and I'm going to call this C. And the relative frequency, again, no problem. You equals sum, count them up. 70 equals this divided by 70, and you do the same all the way across the board, and that's the relative frequency. Done. For the graph, I'm going to select all these observations, insert, bar graph, change the labels, okay, select data, edit, choose these as my labels, okay, and that's it. All right, have fun.